Hello, everyone. This is Merle. I'm Singer, the miracle worker. I'm hoping that you me. This is my first time using my laptop. I always use my cell phone. So, if you're stuck inside, you might as well expand and learn new things. So, I'm using my laptop. This is Merle's Pearls. I've been married for over 50 years to the same man, happily. At least, well, I can tell you about that year 19, but the rest of it was really good. So, or is really good, I should say. And so, uh, oh my gosh, I'm so distracted. They're thinking on the screen, so I'm this is this it's not working. It's a new technology for me. And it's a technology that I want to use to talk to you about things that may make your life a little better. I do have some experience in relationship. If I'm an expert on anything, let me put it to you this way. If I'm an expert on anything, this is it. So you're going to say, well, not even this. No, but I think I've written books and I've, coached a lot of people. So I know something about relationship. And today, the topic is very on point with what's going on now. It's, I'm suggesting that you don't get divorced. Not yet, at least. At least not yet. When things are shaky and then it implodes, of course, all you can do is say, I knew it all along. He was such a this, he was such a that, she was a this, she was such a that. And now, look at it. We can't even. And if you're in a small apartment, it, but I say it all the time, what you focus on expands. If you focus on that he leaves the toilet seat up, that he talks too loud, that he plays stupid games, that whatever it is that annoys you, and he says, you do is do your nails and it stinks. Uh, it's crazy the little things that bug us that don't bug us when we're just dating or when we're busy with our own life and he's busy with his life and we come home together and we have dinner and we play a little, huggy kissy with each other and end up in bed and not even go to sleep right away. That's the good life. But when things are tense and you really have a hard time concentrating on anything else, you don't even want to have sex because you can't concentrate on it enough. So this is what I say to you. I'm not saying that you should never get divorced. I'm not saying that this person no longer is right for you. I'm saying that this is not the time to decide that. Aside, by the way, put aside if there's physical abuse, spousal abuse, and this just makes it worse. You have to endure it as long as you have to, and until you can get out. But fortunately, most of the abuse that we put up with, or that we cause, is that we're upset, that we're worried, that whatever it is, and so we yell at the other person, or we say nasty things. Actually, I was just thinking about what I was going to talk about today, and I was thinking about my parents. My father my father is the one who would yell. My mother is the one who would go like this. she would be so quiet, her lips would disappear. She'd go, you knew she was mad. She wasn't saying anything, and you couldn't find her lips. So, then you knew somebody was in trouble. Hopefully, you. So, my father would yell, and he would throw. Not bad things. He would throw a towel. I still remember the time that he threw. He was, who knows what he was mad at. He was mad. He threw the towel from the kitchen through right into the center of the living room table. My mother had an absolutely prized sculpture or something. It was in that blue, fluted blue glass, and it was three horns out like that with a kind of a tray, and she adored that piece of decoration. She loved it, loved it, loved it. It broke. I think actually that's the last time he ever threw anything. You know when you stepped over the boundary, and he knew he stepped over the boundary. And that is really the last time I believe my father threw anything. So, people have issues. People learn ways to cope. And none of us are perfect. Certainly I'm not. And I'm as close to perfect as you can be. and I get snotty. I get really short. And I answer directly, but you can tell that it's a short answer. And so I need to learn to just chill, and my husband's he's just being himself and coping the way he can cope. And I need compassion. I need to have compassion for me being short sometimes. I need to have compassion for him. Well, and we all do need to understand that, oh my gosh, we're not perfect. How could that be? How can we not be perfect? It's always the other person. But it isn't always the other person. Well, maybe it's always the other person, but it's also, at least some of the time, us. So, as mad as you are, it's really hard to get anything done during this lockdown. So I recommend that you just hold your breath, well, not really, until things get loosened up. And in the meantime, how are you going to survive all this time with this person that drives you crazy? Well, maybe that's the lesson that this coronavirus is for you, is to learn how to deal with tough situations and not kill somebody else and not get yourself killed. So how do you do that? I'm going to say things I'm going to say is impossible for you to do. I understand that. But listen to it anyway, and even if you don't listen to me now, remember it later on. Okay? So, this is what I'm saying to you. Whatever you focus on, expand. If you focus on what a dodo head he is or she is, that's what you're going to say. Everything he or she does is just going to be blah. In the same way, even if it's somebody at work or at home that driving you crazy, how can you focus on something other than that? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you an exercise. It's an exercise I teach for people how to survive the workplace when quitting isn't an not. And here, quitting, you couldn't even quit. You just didn't have a job anymore. And it's really very tension provoking. So, this is how you survive being at home with somebody that's driving you crazy, even if it's yourself. Maybe that's, we'll have to talk about that. Okay, I normally say if you're at work, you make a list of everybody. You put it in order, the people you like best and the people you like worst, and then you start with giving the first person on your list a compliment a day. Here, the first person on your list is, unless you talk to your mother every day on the phone, you can start with her. Say something nice about her every day for a week, and then not just once a week after that. But here, you can make a list of everybody in your house. There's more than one person in your house. I wasn't even thinking about that. Your kids, your sister-in-law, your sister-in-law. It's always your in-laws, and they are. So make a list of everybody and put them in order. Not of the person you love to the love you least, the person that you get along with most ease. Put it in that kind of order. Because love is a whole different thing. So here's a person that you get along with pretty well. So it's gonna be easy for you to find a compliment to give them. A compliment a day for a week, and then once after that, and then keep going down. Or these are tough times. To start with the person that's driving you crazy, because if you do it hard enough, you can do that. And when I say give them a compliment, I mean, I always meant to tell you, but those slippers you wear, they're just the cutest thing, bunny on them. Or, gee, you always wear that thing around your neck, and that's, I like it. Or, you cooked well. Whatever, find something every day, one thing that is nice about that person. That person could be somebody you're going to divorce in 2 months. I don't care. It's not that I don't care, but it doesn't matter. Right now, you're living with that person. Give that person a compliment every day. This is in order. you and for every day until until we're out of quarantine. It's only a compliment. And it doesn't have to be big and important. It only has to be authentic. You can't say, "Gee, I like that shirt. I like that one." That's not nice. You have to say, "I like that shirt." Or good in that shirt. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Except that really, as much as you are going crazy with that person right now, okay, I do like that shirt. Or, you bought me this wedding ring, and it's real. I enjoy it. Thank you. Or whatever. But give that person a compliment a day. By the way, if you're stuck with an abusive person and you can't really get out these days because it's tough, you try the compliment a day with that person as well. Because there is no excuse for abuse, but abuse comes from purity and things, and rather than focus on what he's doing to you, which you can't do anything about right now, focus on something about him that is nice and tell him. Still, I think one of the things about abuse, it gets you involved in fighting back. And if he says something to you, you say it to him, back and forth. If you could stop that, until you can, until you're not a prisoner there with him. So those are my advices for don't get divorced now. Wait until afterwards, and when things to normal, see how you feel. You may feel, I'm so I can finally get away. I'm so glad I can divorce him or her. I'm so glad. But you don't know. You don't know. It's like I say, don't make big decisions when you have your period or you're really very hungry, because you don't know the effects of your body on yourself. And you see things in a different light with different colored glasses on when things are calmer. So make your decision when things are calmer, not when you're angry. That's this week. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but at least I was able to make a video with you all. I hope it turned out good, and I will see you next week, this time with maybe more straightened out technology. And my name is Merle M. Singer, the Relationship Miracle Worker, at relationshipmiracleworker.com. You can have a free session with me. Just sign up on my website. Sign up free session or free session. Just get to the website and you'll figure out what to do there. I have a book, Cracking the Relationship Code. A letter just went out today. You can sign up for the newsletter on my website, Cracking Relationship Miracle Worker. Definitely in at noontime next Thursday, and I will see you then if I can figure out. I really can. I like this video. Be strong. Think positively. I know, even if you think it's a bunch of baloney to think, I have nothing to think positive. Do it as an exercise. If you can play a game, if you can do a puzzle, you can if you can practice the piano, you can practice finding something nice about a person or about the day each day. One thing, okay? Have a blessed week. Have a week, and I'll see you next week.